Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be reading you a book called Red Eyes or Blue Feathers, a book about animal colors. So in this book we'll learn about how some animals have different colors that help them to survive in their environment or the place where they live. Now looking at this book and thinking about what I just said, do you think that this book is fiction or made up or nonfiction that gives us information? That's right, this is a non-fiction book. We'll be learning information about the different animals. This book is by Patricia M. Stockland and illustrated by Todd Allred. Now, just because there's an illustrator, so that means that they're making the pictures, that doesn't mean it's a made-up story. It just means that there's drawings that show us information instead of photographs. As I'm reading this book, be thinking about what animal is your favorite that you learned about, because later this week I'll be asking you to write about an animal from this book. I hope you enjoy it. Red Eyes or Blue Feathers, a book about animal colors. And remember, this is the title page. It says the title again, but shows a different picture and tells some extra information on the inside. Color adaptations. What's the best way to survive in the wild? Adaptation. Color is one way to adapt. So how does an animal's color help it survive? Some animals have colors that help them hide from hungry predators. Other animals use their color to keep from being seen while they hunt. Colors even help animals find mates or talk to each other. Read on to find out why some animals have such clever colors. Red-eyed tree frog. Bright red eyes shine in the night. The red-eyed tree frog is wide awake. During the day, this tiny frog hides its bright colors by closing its eyes and tucking up its legs. The red-eyed tree frog's shiny green back blends in with the trees. Predators think the little frog is a leaf. And then the caption says, the vertical pupils of the red-eyed tree frog help it see better at night. Vertical means up and down like this. Daytime frogs usually have horizontal pupils. Horizontal means across, the other way. This tree frog has pupils that go up and down. They're vertical. So how does the tree frog's colors help it survive? That's right. It's green color when it's asleep. It tucks in, and its predators think it's a leaf. Polar bear. White fur surrounds a shiny black nose. A polar bear slowly lumbers across the snow. The polar bear's snow-colored coat blends in with the Arctic tundra. Its favorite treat is seal blubber. As the bear sits on the edge of the ice, a seal comes up for air. The seal doesn't see the giant paw grabbing for it. Grrr! And the caption says, polar bears are not actually white. Their fur is transparent or clear. Light reflects off of it and makes it appear white or yellowish. So is the polar bear's fur really white? No, it's actually clear. Isn't that interesting? That's information that we learned about the polar bear. Oh, before we go on, how does a polar bear's fur help it to survive? It blends in to its environment. That means that when you're looking, it kind of looks the same as where it lives. And why is that important? Remember, we learned that the seal doesn't even see the paw coming. So because the polar bear is white, the seal, when it's hunting the seal can't see the polar bear. Red fox. Rusty-colored fur rustles through the woods. A red fox follows a scent. This small fox finds food in many places. Its red coat and dark tail help it blend in with plants and trees. Neither predators nor prey can see the sly fox. Being able to hide so well helps this animal live and survive in many different places. So how does the fox's color and tail help it survive? It blends in with the plants and the trees. Do you remember what we learned last week about foxes? Do you remember if they're herbivores, carnivores, or something else? Did you say omnivore? Listen to this caption. The red fox will eat almost anything, including insects, fruit, and leftover food from people's garbage cans. That means the fox is an omnivore. Seahorse. Yellow, green, and brown seaweed swishes in the shallow sea. A small seahorse swishes in the seaweed too. The seahorse is a slow swimmer. Its yellow-brown armor helps it blend in with the seaweed. Larger fish can't see the seahorse hiding. Here's the seahorse. Do you see its armor? And what color is the seahorse? Kind of a yellow-green. That's what the words told us too. Do you see how the picture is showing the seahorse hiding in the seaweed? Look at this seaweed. Is this kind of the same color as the seahorse? So how does the seahorse's color help it survive or live in its environment? It blends in with the seaweed. Why is that important for the seahorse? Do you remember what the word said about the seahorse? Is it a fast swimmer or a slow swimmer? It says the seahorse is a slow swimmer. So when it's hiding, larger fish can't see the seahorse. That protects the seahorse from getting eaten by the other fish. The caption says, the seahorse can quickly change color to blend in better with its surroundings. It also changes color when it mates. Wow, what's different about this animal than from the other animals that we've learned about so far? Can the other animals change colors? The seahorse is different than the other animals we read about because it can change colors. Killer whale. A huge black and white animal glides through the water. The killer whale is ready to attack. This ocean mammal is a smart hunter. Black and white markings help this large animal hide. From below, its white belly looks like sunlight. From above, its black back becomes part of the ocean's shadows. And the caption says, killer whales use a lot of hunting tricks. Some swim under chunks of ice and tip them. Resting seals slide right into the water. Wow, I had no idea they were that smart. Macaw. Red, blue, yellow, and green feathers float in the air. A colorful macaw lands in the trees. Macaws are some of the brightest birds around. The fancy colors fit well in their rainforest homes. These bold colors help the parrots blend into their surroundings. What colors does the macaw have? Red, yellow, blue, and a little bit of green on their feathers. Why do you think these colors help the macaw survive in the rainforest? Do you think that there's a lot of different colors in a rainforest? Listen to the caption too. The white skin around a macaw's beak will turn red if the bird is excited or angry. Black rhinoceros. A big booming tank stomps down the hill. The black rhino is on its way to the watering hole. This giant creature isn't really black. It is actually gray. Rhinos like to cool off by getting dirty, but the mud also makes them look darker. A nice mud bath makes the hot African sun easier to handle. The dried mud on a rhino's skin also protects the animal from pesky flies. The jewel beetle. A shiny blue and gold shell shimmers in the sun. A jewel beetle sparkles on a flower. This bright beetle looks pretty enough to wear, but don't be fooled. It uses the dazzling color as a disguise. Predators think this tasty creature is part of the plant. Jewel beetles also use their bright colors to find mates. What color is the jewel beetle? Blue. What do the words say about the jewel beetle? It says it's shiny, it sparkles, and it said that it's tasty. How do you think the color of the jewel beetle helps it? Yeah, it blends in with the flower so that the predators don't know that it's there. The chameleon. Green skin turns yellow and then turns to red instead. The changing chameleon rests on a rock. A chameleon's shade changes depending on its mood and temperature. It uses this clever color code to show how it feels. Color is one way chameleons communicate. Many people think chameleons can change any color, but they can't. Their colors do include black, white, blue, green, red, and yellow. So why does a chameleon change its color? Do you remember? Its skin changes because of its mood, so how it's feeling, or the temperature, how hot or cold it is outside. That's the end of our book, Red Eyes or Blue Feathers. We learned that animals' colors help them in lots of different ways. Now I want you to write about your favorite animal that you learned about in this book. But I want to remind you that good writers include at least 5 details in their writing. So I did an example. I'm asking you to write about your favorite animal and how its colors help it to survive. If you pick the seahorse, you might draw something like this. This was my example. I wrote my sentence that said, the seahorse has yellow and green armor to hide in the seaweed. And then I drew a picture with 5 different details. Here's my seahorse, and I included its armor. That's one detail. It tells me more about the seahorse. I showed that it's yellow and green. That's 2 details, armor and its color. I showed the seaweed around it, so I showed where it lives. That's 3 details. I showed the sand and the water. That's 4 things. And then I showed another fish that it's hiding from. That's 5 details. I want you to try to show me at least 5 things about your animal and where it lives and how its color helps it to survive. Make sure your sentence matches your picture. I can't wait to see your writing. Bye.